Coach, time for some building blocks. Let's take a look at some of the things that went well in the game.
Sure. This is our last touchdown here to Richie. We're down at the 1 yard line, and we end up calling a kind of a 3-man pass concept over here with 19 coming outside here, 86 forcing an outside release, and then Richie kind of using 86 as he goes ahead and forces the outside release to get a little bit of a rub. It's good protection. We got a clean pocket for Daniel. Slayton does a good job of forcing the outside release. Defensive back gets his hands on him, tries to jam him. Daniel puts it on his outside pad and was able to turn in and get the touchdown here to give us a chance here at the end of the game with this onside kick.
So, Coach, when we look at this play, the point person in their triangle is actually, he benefits the offense because by engaging Slayton, he can't get off to take Richie James in the flat.
Exactly right. And
so he does the job.
He does the job. It's 2 outside releases, one by Gaudet, one by Slayton. Kind of take Diggs out of here, and this defender go ahead and presses on Slayton. And now the guy that's covering Richie is all the way inside here. So we get an easy throw out there to the flat.
Now, if they play that a little differently,
yep,
the 2 outside releases still gives you some options, right?
It absolutely does. And, in this case, Slayton's getting jammed up, so he just kind of lets him ride him down the line of scrimmage. But Slayton actually has a route that would accompany this if this was played a little differently. Like, say, if this guy came off of him, or this guy comboed off of this guy, we'd have a couple different options based on how the defense plays it.
And the timing for the quarterback would
it's
still
quick.
be the same, right?
It would be, and he could just hang just a little bit to see how this unfolds. But in this case, he sees it's really locked all the way through, so it's kind of a one-man, easy read throw if they play it like this.
Now, I'm seeing the route by the back. Obviously, you got to keep the other side of the defense honest, but there has to be an option there too, right?
He does. He has a two-way go. He can run out, he can run in, he can sit. So there's a lot of different options on this 5-out play, and it's just based on the look of the defense of which side the quarterback's going to go to.
Right here is from a different angle.
Pause it here. Good inside-out protection here all the way through. He's not going to be hanging on to this long, so it gives him an opportunity to get a clean throw off on this.
And obviously, you look at the footwork, but these are the type of plays that you want to get out in a hurry because they get batted down often.
Exactly right. In this case, they run a little game over here, so it gives them a cleaner throwing lane as well.
All right, Coach, let's go on to the next play.
Sure. Okay, so this was a big play at the end of the quarter here. 3rd and 15, obvious passing situation unless they want to run a draw or some type of screen. And we have kind of man-to-man coverage up top. CD is here at number 3. And we kind of have Love pushing to half the field and 24 kind of just hanging out here for a minute, knowing that he's going to push to the field. So we essentially have a couple guys over the top of CD as the play develops, whether it's a half field here or Belton running across back here. So Darnay's playing with it, inside technique, and just does a good job of getting his hands up, tip ball, and these guys are certainly aware of where 88 is to give us this opportunity to go ahead and finish it on an interception.
Now, Coach, we can't go without acknowledging the fact that this is not a full complement of your starters in the defensive backfield, but yet the execution here, there's not a lot of daylight with any of these receivers in the, versus this coverage.
Yeah, pretty tight coverage. Protected here on the back end by the 2 safeties. One going to the half and another one disguising a little bit. But I'd say that overall well executed. And if you look, once we get to the end zone view of it, I think Kayvon does a really good job of rushing and getting to the spot and putting a little bit of pressure on Dak. But just a good finish.
And then just the position of Darnay Holmes forces the quarterback to kind of throw it to his back shoulder.
Yep.
Which enabled that ball to be tipped.
Yep. And he plays right through his hands. And nice job by Julian being where he's supposed to be with eyes on the quarterback and reacting to the ball.
Now let's take a look at the rush here because that had a big influence on this as well, as you mentioned.
Yep, just 4-man rush. Again, 3rd and long. But I think Kayvon does a nice job on his bull rush. and just getting to the spot here. Leo's got his hands up. Everything affects the quarterback in terms of ball disruption.
And you can see the quarterback could not step into that.
That's exactly
He's
right.
just basically throwing it off his tiptoes.
It's all tied together.
And those are the type of plays when you are undermanned that the execution is very important, keeping you in games like this. And now let's take a look at the special teams.
Yep. So this was, the beginning part. Defense had a good stop. This was the drive we had down there where we went backwards. We ended up scoring. It was called back, and we went back again. So, again, decision to make here. We were, 4th and 32. There's not really much you can do. You can either decide to take a penalty and, try to punt it, but have a lot of confidence in Graham. He's done a great job for us all year. We're indoors. It's great conditions, and, just, again, the amount of times he's made these kicks out at practice, it's a comforting thing knowing you have a kicker that has executed well under pressure and can make these long ones, which was the start of the game, which it's all tied together. I thought our protection was better than it was the week previously, and the operation was smooth and clean.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, Coach. When you look at the interior, or from tackle to center on both sides, that's where the pressure was the week before. So you can almost anticipate getting that.
That's exactly right.
And even more pressure, and those guys seem like really got it short up here.
Yeah, did a much better job this week, really posting down, staying strong on their inside foot, protecting their inside gap, and just good timing by Graham. And 57-yarder, those aren't easy.
No, they're not.
That was good to get 3 points on that drive. Would have liked to get more, but complimentary football with the defensive stop, and then obviously the kicking game taking care of the 3 points.